Let's talk about flipping the switch from where you are right now, being average, to flipping the switch to success and extreme, high production, and making it real millions of dollars. One, you have to have the key information, high quality, the best information to pull something off like this, training and all that. But even with that, you got to have the mind control. Just like the story of the mouse that fell in the bucket of milk and he kept swimming until he turned it to butter, or the donkey that the owner tried to bury and he kept shaking off the dirt. Simple, childish stories, but very meaningful, impactful thoughts and visions. In order to change from being average to being super high productivity, making a lot of money, is just setting a serious goal that's so most likely absurd or out of reach for your current mindset that it gives you the end number to look at. So if you're to say you want to make like $1 million a week, even 100,000 a week, is pretty low. $1 million a week is actually low. It's not even that much money. But the trick to doing that, and the reality of pulling it off, is first off, in your brain, you've already got to believe and realize that $1 million a week is not very much money. It's really not. It's not even a lot of money. Your average millionaire right now is just basically your normal poor person from the old days. $1 million is no money. Even $1 billion nowadays isn't that much. Now, you can go around all the internet and say people can claim they're billionaires and all that stuff and show you a bunch of stuff when their net worth is way below that. And you can imply that, or you can actually fall for that, but it's not reality. So what is the trick from going average to super money and super production? Two things: units and margins. $1 million and $100,000 is really about your mind control and the way you look at things. Unit wise, the first thing that starts in your brain is that $1 million is not very much money. And margins is you have to have a product or a vehicle that will produce a high margin and a high amount of money. That would be commercial real estate. And the way I train it is the same way. Well, put it this way: the information I'm giving out, it's once you see it and you understand it, you realize it's very powerful and critical information. It's probably something that doesn't really want to be put out here. And like when Elon Musk says, or Andrew Tate and all these people say they're not into committing suicide, or myself either, when people do say things like that, and when I would even say things like that, is that information is power and money, and it's if it's used or funneled in the right direction, or honed or tailored or managed and controlled, can lead to controlling a lot of people, masses, and everything's like that, and money. try not to say the word empire, but it really controls a lot of, basically controls an empire or empires. That word sounds a little overkill or like not realistic, but it's like if you were to see a naked girl or something on the internet, in your mind you'd think, oh, that's nothing, and just pass over it. But if that was like I don't know, the president's wife or somebody very influential that had a lot of power, and you did see information like that or something, or you did get key information, yeah, it would be dangerous because some people don't want that kind of information out. So it's when you have the information and you realize what kind of information and ability and power you have the ability to actually acknowledge it and use it and transform that into using it for your own advantage and making money with it. Now, if you're just not very smart, it doesn't matter what information you have and what strategies and what key information, what key abilities or skills or thoughts or things that have been given to you or trained to you, it won't matter because you're just stupid and you don't realize it and you don't believe things are possible because you're ignorant and you're just, a standard, normal, average Joe loser mindset. Like I said previously, and I always say, is that like famous people and all these people that get rich and famous and all that stuff are already that way before the money finds them, and they're that way before the fame finds them. Actors are not playing a part, they're playing themselves. The only actors out there are people that aren't even actors. They're all fake people, not even real. What makes a person real is when you're being real, and what makes a person successful is living in the moment, where you can basically stop time, and your day is the only day and the only thing that exists between the minute you wake up till the time you go to bed. And in that realm of those hours, you are 100% completely focused and cognizant on that day. 99% of the people, they're not in this daytime. When you are cognizant and 100% completely where you're supposed to be mentally and physically in this realm at any given moment in time on whatever task you're doing, and all your energy is fine-tuned and focused and narrowed in on that task to be accomplished, you are literally stopping time. And I told you in the last video at the very last of it that all people that are trying to succeed or make big money should have like timers on their computer and be in front of them like a stopwatch. And every single task you set your mind to, you set that stopwatch, and don't allow yourself to bring any other distractions in at any moment until that task is accomplished. And you keep watching the timer, and you keep managing and seeing how fast it takes you to hit one task to the next task to the next task to the next task all day long. You're going to start out with the goal for the week, be it you want that goal to be $1 million. You're going to have a general idea of what it takes to make the $1 million for the week. In commercial real estate, that takes really literally closing one property, because you're talking $1 to $3 million. But what's it take to do that, to pull the tasks off to do that? Well, you're going to want to contact, and you're going to try and close on, maybe contact 10 properties a day and try and close on those. That's overkill. But if your sales skills suck and you're not very good with your numbers, maybe do 10. But if you're good with your number, if you're the way I train you and stuff, your closing ratio and your skills and the structuring, the strategy, and the manipulation and the dynamic of the way you're pulling off the commercial properties is going to go up fast, and your ratios on everything is going to grow exponentially. You're going to start closing deals. Like in the prior video, even if you're not one of my trained students, whatever, and you're just average Joe Blow, and you were to do syndicate setup and get investors, a joint venture investor, or well, syndicate with accredited investors, like several investors, you can still pull that off, or one investor, or yourself with this simple, basic $1 million property, worst case scenario with $200,000 down payment. But I mean, that's like first grade, kindergarten, training wheel bicycle stuff. I mean, that's like, even if you drop down to 500,000, you're talking 100,000, dude. You can't get 100,000 bucks. Oh God, really, seriously. You're talking. This should be that should take like not very long. Anyways, you can pull that off in a day. But if you want to do like $1 million a week, which is like very easy, very simple, it's not even a big number. I would maybe set up $5 million a week, make it a little easier to wrap your mind around it being bigger, because $1 million is not even that much money. But you have the end goal for the week. So when you're setting your timers and your tasks, you're gonna have your main objective, your main goals, what you want to do. What's it gonna accomplish? What's gonna take to get $1 million a week, $5 million a week? We'll say 10 properties. You should work on closing at least. You should be able to close 3 to 5 properties a week in commercial real estate. Once you get your training done, your skills set up, you'd be able to close that many and fine-tune your communications, your ability, streamline how your system's working and everything like that. If you have the main goal and you stay focused and you get your mind in the state of stopping time, which if you watch your mind all day long, and the minute you have your timer and your task fade and your mind fades, the minute you need a break, you're going to sit down and write down more things on your paperwork of filling in the details of your goals of what you need to accomplish for that couple of minutes, then go back to another task and keep going and going and going. Of course, you want to take a break here and there, but be 100% on your break when you're on your break, and then go back to work. But if you can actually tailor your mindset into stopping time, you become like invincible and be able to become from average to super successful and highly productive and get things accomplished. Instead of being like the roulette ball on the roulette wheel that's just flying around all the time and never knows where it lands. If you can literally be in the moment, you could pick up the roulette ball, like drop it or put it in any slot you want, because nobody in the world, in any room, any given area, or any bit in any business or anywhere is focused on the same mental task. Everybody's brain is on their phone, the other phone call, social media, everything but what's in front of them. If you learn your skills and you control your mind and you have the ability to do that, then you're going to be able to make super success and super money. But that comes with the mind control. Focusing on that. When you have that, you get a high margin, high profit output or product, which would be like commercial real estate or some other businesses you want to get into. If you're one of my commercial real estate clients and you're into other things that I've got you into, they have other high margins, high cash output, high closing ratio of high cash businesses, and you're doing all these things, you're going to make a lot of money. Because if you can control your mind and have that knowledge plus the high margin output, the last piece of the puzzle is the units. You've got to get in your mind right now that $1 million is a joke. It literally is 5 million is reasonable for making profit for 1 week. Once you have your brain set and you're tasked down in your abilities to focus, 5 million bucks a week in commercial real estate is very simple. You've got to realize that the only thing stopping a normal person from being rich, same with like a person that wants to be famous and be a star. If you want to be famous, be a star, you just have to work on excessively training your body and yourself and your mind and your actions to be completely characteristic of who you really want to be, unique wise, and excessive high confidence. Every actor has excessive high confidence and excessive uniqueness to them and excessive self-esteem. You could be fat, average, tall, skinny, or whatever. They have those three qualities. They are famous before they become famous. That makes famous. What makes people rich is being able to stop time, control how your mind looks at things, realize and believe and know that the units are not what your poor mind is saying. A unit of $1 million is small, 5 million is normal for a week. If you get into the mindset of being pre-programmed to thinking that, like business school teaches you, everything in the world teaches you, that you're going to work for the hourly job or just slave and everything's so hard, you're never going to make it. But if you have the main goal, and every time you lose track of the goal or your mind goes off into la-la land, you focus on what you can accomplish and what you need to do to make it to the next level. And then go back to the next task and keep going. You never get too much time onto writing out too many goals. You just have the one main goal, 1 to 5 million a week, and then fill in the other smaller goals or the 3 top things that's going to get you there with the high margin. And then execute. So 90% of it is executing, doing all this work. You're not going to sit down and write and spend all your life doing that. That's a whole nother waste of time. You have to execute when you're taking a little break, maybe at the end of the day, or different pauses during the day. You can add, say, I want to do this, add to it. You're controlling your mind and you're playing poker with life. Those who are strong and play their cards right and play their hand right, always going to win. And you don't need money to make money. You have to have information. You have to have strategy. You have to have the skill. You have to have knowledge. And commercial real estate, more than anything, more than cars, more than everything, is all about games and all about poker and all about strategy and all about controlling your mind and stopping time and living in that day. If you can accomplish that with your mind and you have the knowledge that I provide to you and the high margin that is, you're going to make excessive amount of money. I don't want to say millions and billions and all that kind of, because it doesn't sound realistic. So I'm going to say excessive amount of money. But that all boils down to, where is your brain at? If you have the high goal and that's all you're focused on, and then tasks to fill in the gaps, and you train your brain to stay on the timer and manage every time you have a task and notice how long it takes to accomplish a task and how you're improving and speeding up every single task, and watch your productivity go up every day. You're going to grow exponentially and you're going to produce more exponentially. In doing that as well, is you cannot look at things, you can never look at things as you can't do this, you can't do that. You only have one direction, and that's the goal and filling in the gaps. If you start losing momentum and you start looking at negative or this or that out of your mind, even if it comes in your mind, you're automatically sending yourself exponentially backwards. If you stay on this track and you just exponentially go forward, and you always have that goal in your mind, 1 million a week, 5 million a week, and constantly, like when I was poor, I did college and I graduated, and then I did hourly wage for temporary service. I did all these jobs and bartending and everything. And between that phase and before I got into mortgages and stuff and commercial real estate, I worked like 14, 15 hours a day. But I mean, I constantly said to myself, get rich like 1,000 times a day. I mean, I never had a chance for my mind to ever fail me and say it's not working. I was never beat in mortgages. My mortgage company was the best in the country and had the highest numbers and everything. And that's all from going from loser poor at $7 an hour to farther. The same principle works from where you're at to making millions and millions and more. You take that day and you focus. You got to focus on the high margin profit and the units. Units is going to be like 3 to 5 closings a week. $1 million is not very big, but when you realize that all this money is not only is easy to accomplish, but the units aren't even that many. You can focus on every single unit it takes to accomplish every single task, and you get all the tasks lined up to where it adds up to the bigger goal. Every week you do this. You keep going and you keep going. Even if you do this after one single day, you're going to be 10 times, 20 times farther than you were before. If you stay in your other mindset and you don't control your mind and you don't have discipline to do that, you're never going to go anywhere. You're just going to be going all over the place, and you're going to waste your time on all these videos and never accomplish anything. And when you break down a major goal, you're going to separate all the tasks or every single thing you can do to reach the goal. Be it any lateral move there is. You can branch it off into 3-4 different directions. Every time you accomplish a task, you go to the next one, the next one. You can't ever allow yourself to be lazy in the brain and sit around and burn up time. And that brings me to another topic. Time in itself. We're talking about stopping time. When you do this, you're stopping time because you're living in the moment and you're getting things accomplished. And time is very short. And why I'm bringing up short time is because, like, you got this man-made virus going around and the vaccine and everybody dying from it. And if you took the vaccine and you're sitting there burning up your time, you might want to look at getting an ivermectin or probiotic and stop the spike proteins and the deficiencies and the deterioration of your body and your immune system before you end up dying, because everybody's dying over this stuff, and that's going to shorten your whole lifespan. But if you're not focused and you don't look at the big picture and you don't take those into account, you're never going to get anywhere. And you need to take advantage of this time right now, every single day, while you don't have problems, while you don't have people dying, you don't have setbacks, and you don't have real things to worry about, and you don't have anything really going wrong. And instead, while you have all this perfect time to make gigantic exponential progress versus, you could have people die from COVID and all this stuff, or the vaccine spread the COVID. I mean, my wife died October, not my one that I had when I sold the company, but the one I actually liked and cared about. She died last year, October 25th. and really set me back. I still managed to keep working everything. We had independent lives and stuff, but uh, when you do have to worry about that, um, it'll slow you down. It'll stress you out. So you want to take advantage of every day that you have. Of course, everybody has to realize that heaven and hell is real. People go to heaven and life's really great because you get to see them again and all that stuff, so they're not really dead. But the point is, if you cannot take one single day at a time and live in this daytime and focus all your attention on that one day and get your brain able to move forward and under control, you're never going to make it to tomorrow or the next day or 100 days from now and be successful. You're going to be stuck backwards and complaining and never ever getting any money. Money is not everything, but I know all this stuff because, well, yeah, it was everything to me. I mean, it was like, oh, I was so obsessed with it. That's why I don't go show off all my stuff because, well, I'll never be like that again because, but if you put your life in a good balance and you want to accomplish what you want to accomplish for the time, I mean, so you only work for like 2-3 years, maybe, well, 4 years, maybe. You can retire in a year if you really push it. But, I mean, maybe 2-3 years, you work it, you retire, but you put in every single day and you focus 100% and you get the high margin output that produces a lot of money and the focus on the units, how many you're going to close, and control your brain during the entire day, you're going to make extreme amount of money. When you learn the strategies and the information, then it becomes about the sequence, the order, and your momentum. You can never have momentum if your brain is out of control. If you control that, you can stop time and live in the moment, where other people in this world do not live in the moment and they do not control any of this. That's why the rich and those that can control their mind and control time make all the money, because everybody else is so busy letting all the negative stuff or the gossip or the media or everything that is completely irrelevant of your total goal affect their lives all day, every night, every day. If you do this and you focus everything, when you're thinking at night, before you know it, you're even going to start dreaming and having dreams of what you're accomplishing, and other people and other things, other situations are going to start to evolve and happen, and more things are even going to start to take place. Now, it's even biblical that you're not supposed to think about the past, and that if you manifest things and you think about them and you control your mind to stay on the positive, that it will happen. I mean, even in the Bible it says God will make rivers in the desert, a path in the wilderness, and you're not, for each day is evil of its own. Don't think about the past or the future. Be in the moment. There's other verses and things too, but the laws of the universe are made for you to stop time and accomplish it. Now, you may not accomplish it if he has other plans for you. Can't say it's like prosperity. You just send in so much money and it's going to happen anyways. But for the most part, if this isn't something he's trying to deal with you with, but if it's about you planning, like using your talents and plowing the field before the rain, and you have literally faith that it will happen, it'll happen. Can't make money the most important thing. I mean, but when you are focused on money and focused on getting your stuff done for the time period that you're going to do it, then it will happen. But if you can't do that, you're not going to go anywhere. So, sounds so simple and like it's easy to do, which it really is. But when you start looking at how your mind reacts and how you accomplish every single task, and you're not on task all day long, and you're constantly looking at the timer, and you have to reset it every time because your mind goes off in the la la land. I mean, you can stop your task and go to another task, like you have a phone call, whatever, set the timer again. How long does it take to get everything you need out of the phone call and provide the key information that you want to get, and get the key information you need to get? Effectively communicate, get that task accomplished, and then go back to the other task. It's about efficiency. You make your whole life efficient from minute one to the end of the day. Look for constantly advantages and solutions in everything there is, and keep moving forward and making lateral moves. Never straight backwards, where you're going to go back to yesterday or the day before or the day before. And every single day, you're poor. So you're going to work 100 million % every day like you never had a dollar from the day before. That's why no matter how rich you get, it would be irrelevant if you did all your cars and all these things, and I could teach you guys how to get cars, Ferraris, Lambos, and then drive them for a whole year and either make a profit or break even after you did all that. And the only thing you would spend on them is gas and, well, depends on how many miles you put on it, maybe a service plan. But if you do it right, I'll teach you how to do that too. So literally you're getting everything for free. So you could have like 20 cars of $200,000 to $300,000 to $500,000 cars or more that cost you nothing, and most of them make a profit. And you could live that lifestyle and close commercial real estate and keep going and do whatever you want, and spend all this time showing off. But the point is, yesterday doesn't matter, showing off doesn't matter, because every day is a different day, and the only thing that matters is what your goals are for the day. Everybody and what their opinions are and how everything about communication, gossip, and all these things don't add up to the equation of where you're trying to accomplish. If you constantly have that mentality, you'll be able to succeed. But if you get off the track and you trickle off into this other realm of thought or gossip or this other stuff or whatever, you're not on path to get your goals, well, then you're never getting there. And if you're supposed to accomplish these things, what if you got to help other people or do other things? Once you get to that point, then you're not only letting yourself down, you're letting everybody else down. But it may not be just your path to get all the money, but I'm saying if that's what you want to get while the hours that you are going to work, well, make those hours count and get exponential results while you're working. But if you have a period of time, like say 3 years, you want to get everything done and accomplished, get it done and get high productivity. That's how you're going to change your mind from going average to high production and getting real results. Lower the mindset of what the value of real money is, because the reality is you think it's so hard and it's too difficult, and your brain is fighting you every single step of the way. When a person knows that, and you actually have in your brain, and you constantly tell yourself, and you actually end up believing it, because you're not going to believe it till you do it and accomplish it. But like when I started getting my first 100,000 in the very first 10 months, and then my first million, and then millions after that, I realized that all the other jobs, I had 51 jobs going through college and bartending and trying to do all that crap for DNA analysis and all this stuff, and like master's degree and like internships and nightmare after, and like serious brain tumor stuff. I mean, like that was studying in summertime and late, and like all I wanted was to make a lot of money, because I was so sick of working all the time and studying and couldn't even enjoy life, and just stressed out to the max and being broke. Basically, I had to steal my books, live in my car time, all this pathetic stuff. Then I realized after I did it, I put all that energy and effort into like high margin output. And back then, that just getting hired and then when I started my company, then the margins are so extremely high. Then it got to be where you realize that making lots of money is not just making lots of money. Physically, mentally, everything is easier. Easier. When I say $1 million a week to $5 million a week, it's not even that hard, because the more money you make, sounds so cliche, but the easier it becomes. So all this exponential work you're doing in your mind and controlling every thought and every task is the hardest part. And it's not even hard compared to when you start getting a return on your money and return on your time and return on your thought and return on the self-discipline. It's going to be unlimited amount of return, because all this stuff you've done in the past and all your jobs and all this working and all this time you've been complaining and hanging around with losers that complain and hanging around with stupid TV shows or hanging around singing these retarded songs that are half subliminally conscious, motivated by the devil, inputting all this crap in your mind that causes your brain just to turn to mush and not accomplish nothing, and you're getting fat and not working out, and you're eating like crap and not getting anywhere, and your mind's just deteriorating day by day by day by day, and you're going backwards, struggling with the most minuscule stuff and time and everything. If you can focus and do all the stuff I'm saying right now, you'll be erasing all those years and all those exponential problems and stress and all that stuff going backwards to exponentially going forward and propelling yourself past what you even thought was possible. But you can't break that threshold if you never bust through that barrier and, you know, get the $1 million a week, $5 million a week, and then go from there. That's not even a lot of money. If you literally do the actions, once you start getting the results and you start seeing results, I mean, of course, when you close your first deal, you're going to see the million or 3 million, or it depends how big your first deal is. But you're going to start seeing results when you start breaking down into smaller phases and smaller tasks, and all these little tasks are starting to add up. And everything is a lateral move. So, like, I have other businesses that are coming out that overlap on the commercial real estate industry and allow you to do, well, I have other clients doing it, but other people that are just starting. When you break down, well, whatever else you're doing, to do commercial real estate, maybe between zero and your first deal, you're adding up all these things and you're making all the right moves. And exponentially, you're starting to accomplish 10 times more than you, not, I wouldn't say 10, maybe 100 times more than you did the day before and the day before and all that stuff. It's the mental game in the poker of life and the poker of the whole commercial real estate and everything. If you control that, you can control time and stop time and actually start getting real exponential results. And that comes with 100% focus on your brain and controlling everything. Then I can teach you the combination, the sequence, the order, the secrets, the strategies, and the techniques, and all these other things as well to fine-tune it to go even higher. Because the 1 to 5 million range is actually harder than $10 to $20 million properties. 30 to $50 million properties is even way easier. But you got to start out the 1 to 5, maybe $1 to $10 million range to get your mindset right, to get all the other foundations. I can't say what I really want to say, because those of you that have taken my course and understand, they know that you're going to learn on the basics, and then after that, I'm going to put you in the advanced level, and then things are going to fall into place easier. But start out with training your brain and getting that part done, and then moving forward on top of that. Now, I hope this gives you an idea. Go get a timer and watch yourself. I mean, there's one online. It's called rapidtables.com. Those are some easy ones for like stopwatch, timer, countdown timer, all these things. Control your mind, focus, stop time, and get things going. Now, if you want to get help in commercial real estate, credit repair, business funding, corporate funding, personal funding, give me a call and I'll get you set up. If you're like one of these trolls that just goes around the internet, listen to everybody on the internet, and has like 3 CPNs or do CPN and all these other stupid things and don't want to listen, and you think you know it all, don't call me, because you know it all, so you shouldn't be calling me and fishing for information, wasting my time, because you're not my client. If you're around, older, business-minded person, or you're a very mature, younger person, fine. But you have to have the brain, the discipline, and the desire and the motivation, and actually be able to accomplish goals. If that's you, then you're my type of client. So, all right. Thanks for listening to all this stuff. I hope it helps in some way, shape, or form. Get you on track. Because I know what it's like to be on the bottom, and I know what it's like to be on the top and stay on top, and then I know what it's like to be like almost invisible but successful and not have the desire to have to show off everybody, because I already did that. But I'm very happy and I like where I'm at. So I like to help people, and I like to take people and get them from point A to B. So if that's you, give me a call at 312-473-4163. Thanks. Let's talk about flipping the switch from where you are right now being average to flipping the switch to success and extreme.
Power, realize your power, finding out myself, power, realize your power, finding out myself. Go where you wanna go, do what you're gonna do what you wanna do, go where you wanna go. Get on with it, come on, get on with it, come on, get on with it, come on, get on with it. It's what I say, what I say. Listen what I say, listen what I say, listen what I say, what I say. Get on with it, come on, get on with it. I go left, you go right, lift it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, lift it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, lift it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right. Baby, you're gonna be mine. Baby, you looking so fine. Baby, you gonna be mine. Baby, you looking so fine. Baby, you're gonna be mine. Baby, you looking so fine. Baby, you gonna be mine. Baby, you looking so fine. I go left, you go right, lift it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, lift it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, lift it up, dance all night. Go right, get it up, dance on, get on top now, get on top, get on top, get on top, yeah. Power. realize your power. Finding out myself, finding out myself. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. Power, realize your power. Finding out myself, finding out myself. Power, realize your power. Finding out myself, finding out myself. Go where you wanna go. Do what you're gonna do. Do what you wanna do. Go where you wanna go. Get on with it. Come on, get on with it. Come on, get on with it. Come on, get on with it. It's what I say. What I say. Listen what I say. Listen what I say. Listen what I say. What I say. Get on with it. Come on, get on with it. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right. Baby, you're gonna be mine. Baby, you looking so fine. Baby, you gonna be mine. Baby, you looking so fine. Baby, you're gonna be mine. Baby, you looking so fine. Baby, you gonna be mine. Baby, you looking so fine. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. Get on top now, get on top, get on top, get on top, yeah. Power, realize your power. Finding out myself, finding out myself. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night.